Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the conference call of Kirloskar Ferrous Industries Limited to discuss proposed acquisition of ISMT Limited, hosted by Antique Stock Broking Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star, then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Pallav Agarwal from Antique Stock Broking. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen, and good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this call. We have the senior management of Kirloskar Ferrous joining us over here. We have Mr. Martin, Managing Director, and the CFO, Mr. Srivatsan. So I will now hand over the call to Mr. Brahmaste for his opening remarks. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. I first of all, let me take this opportunity to welcome all the participants into this call for a short introduction first, and then we will open it for the question answers. As you are all aware, we have already notified that we would be taking over the controlling stake in Indian Seamless Metal Tubes, or in short it's known as ISMT Limited. And we are right now in the process of changeover, and let me quickly give you a short background about KFI. In short, you know that we are working on various projects, basically Cocoon Phase 2, Mini Blast Furnace 2 upgradation, machining capacity expansion, pulverized coal injection, and also projects to de-bottleneck so that we can improve the capacity utilization on castings. And also we are setting up the fourth foundry or second foundry in Solapur. We expect that all these projects will get completed over the next 1 year. With that, we will be able to take our installed capacity of Figueron from current level of about 500,000 metric ton per annum to 700,000 metric ton per annum, and in case of casting from 150,000 metric ton per annum to close to 200,000 metric ton per annum. And we have uploaded the presentation for today's conference, and we have added certain details like our quarter-on-quarter results. As you are all aware, we acquired the VSL steel plant in Hiriur and made it operational this year, and with that we have already the increased sale of Figueron, and also supported by the increased commodity prices. Our top line growth has been very robust over the last 3-4 quarters, and I would only like to just remind that this is also part of structural change in the metallic prices, but also cyclical in nature. There can be up and down corrections on this. The profitability and cash generations over the last 3-4 quarters have been robust, which has helped us to progress on all the projects without increasing or majorly increasing any of the borrowing. With respect to the expansion projects, which are basically focusing on Figueron and focusing on castings, machining, and as we have our stated policy to go on value addition on the Figueron, we have been looking for good quality steel assets, and when we came across this asset, ISMT Limited, we will get 3.5 lakh ton of steel making capacity, though it is not through the pig iron or hot metal route. It is through steel scrap route with electric arc furnace, but it definitely opens up the steel sector for us. And instead of just being there at steel, it also gives us opportunity to add value on steel through manufacture of seamless tubes. And we find that this value addition and this diversification into steel making and seamless tubes is a natural extension of value addition on our together. We feel it is the right choice, and we can address major concerns of this company with our expertise and with our integration with our current manufacturing facility into the area of power generation, in the area of metal supply, and it can bring a synergy and value addition to the acquisition. As you all know, ISMT is one of the largest steel making integrated seamless tube manufacturer in India, and they are very well known. They cover the range of 6 millimeter diameter to 273 millimeter diameter, and also they are very well known for bearing quality steel as well as the bearing quality seamless tubes. And also seamless tubes go into 3-4 different segments. It goes into auto component segment. It goes into oil and gas pipeline requirements. It goes into the mining. It goes into general engineering, hydraulic pipelines, or tubes. So it has not concentrated into any field, so has the possibility of more than one sector there. ISMT has head office in Pune, whereas the manufacturing locations are very close. One is Ahmednagar, which is 120 kilometers from Pune, and the steel plant is in Jejuri, which is 50 kilometers from Pune, and the Baramati, another 55 kilometers from Jejuri to Baramati. So they're all nearby to the Pune location, and nameplate capacity of steel plant is 350,000 metric ton, and with rolling capacity of 180,000 metric ton. And Baramati tube plant nameplate capacity is 3 lakh, expandable to 350,000. Ahmednagar is 65,000, and the capacity utilizations have been low, and we feel that with financial restructuring and bringing back the network, it should be possible to increase the capacity utilization level from the current low level. If the sales turnover, this company has been very stagnant on top line for many years. Last 1 decade, one of the major reasons has been too much of debt on the books of this company. But recent quarters, quarter one of this year, company has gone for the sales level of 477 crores. So it has come to a run rate of about 2,000 crores of sales per annum. And we also see further increased possibilities with positive net worth coming and interest burden going down and cash flow improving on the working capital. This can bring further capacity utilization. Except the quarter of COVID, all other quarters, it is EBITDA positive, and last quarter it had a EBITDA of 6% and has a depreciation of about 60 crores, and it has huge interest component, which we would be changing with one-time settlement with the bankers, and that can bring down the interest levels much lower level. The settlement with the lenders is likely to happen at around 670 crores, which has been agreed subject to their board approval. And this we are planning to put in about 475 crores through equity into ISMT Limited, which gives us a 51.25% controlling stake with management control. And the balance we will give them unsecured loan, and which we have tied up the fundings, and we are low leveraged company, and it is possible to fund this. And it's also important to note that with this acquisition of 51.25% and also with the management control change, with the public offers, and we have already made those announcements, and the process further will be followed. We will have at least control of 51.5%, even if we do not get much of the public offerings with the public offer being made. The operational improvement opportunities in ISMT, one area is definitely the big debt on the books of the company, which we plan to go for one-time settlement with the company, and the interest costs will be completely reset, and most of the major quantum of investment in the company is coming through equity, except less than 200 crores coming through the unsecured loans. So there is a chance to bring down the interest rate substantially lower, and which becomes serviceable. Capacity utilization, as I mentioned, from two angles. One is making the company positive network, and then we will be able to participate in tenders, government businesses, and also wherever the customer requires positive network, where I think it is a plus point once it is restructured. There are many aspects which we think will get improved once we have the good working capital, and also banking services available in the supply chain management. And that should help us in reducing the input cost and improving the capacity utilization. In the operational area of the plant, I think we have done some detailed basic analysis with the time slots available with the due diligence. And presently, the power and fuel cost of the companies are at very high level, with lower capacity utilization and all power coming from the state grid. We will, like we have done in our own company, KFIL, we will work on power and fuel to bring it down to a very respectable level. Could take time, but it is possible to restructure. The last few quarters, the power and fuel at 19%, and 6% EBITDA comes with this level of power and fuel, and there is huge opportunity for us to work on this, bring the green power, bring the waste heat recovered power with Coco One generated in Karnataka. It is possible to flow to Maharashtra and use it there. So there are quite a few possibilities, or we can also in future quickly look at the possibility of making the steel blooms and rounds in copper and only do the rolling in JGD, and thereby completely change the power and fuel cost scenario. And there are some unutilized assets like thermal coal-based power plant, and that is also another opportunity which is now not utilized and remained idle. There could be possibilities to look at that. And with this acquisition, we will naturally move to a good opportunity area of steel, and we have not been into steel over the last 25 years, and I'm sure that this should help us to expand our customer base, and also, as we have done in the casting, exceed the expectations of the customer on new product development, quality, delivery, expand the product portfolio. We can also look at the green power options to bring down the cost and also become more green. We bring this synergy and achieve the cost efficiency, capacity utilization, and move forward in a natural way into steel and also steel value-added products from steel. This is a big step for us, and it's, I'm sure that we will have tremendous learning as we move forward and enter into a bigger field, like if the castings are 10 to 12 million ton per annum in India, steel is 100 to 120 million ton per annum. I'm sure that it would be a beginning for KFIL to get into much broader, much deeper into the steel over the coming years. I'll stop over here with this introduction and with this details, and keep it open for question and answer session. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and look forward to your great participation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Ritesh Poladia from Girik Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, and congratulations, sir, for the acquisition. So a few questions related to open offer. So the original ISMT promoter will hold 23%. So will they tender in the open offer? Is there any clarity on that?
I think there is an understanding that it is for the public, and they won't be able to sell in this offer.
Okay, so they will remain the promoter, means co-promoter along with you, or at a later date they will turn to the public?
I can't confirmedly talk about what will actually happen in the future, but I think in the short trade they won't be able to sell. But if at all they decide to sell, I think we will have the right of first refusal.
Okay. Sir, there were few subsidiaries of the ISMT one, or a few investments like Chandrapur power plant of 40 megawatt, which is closed. Also, there was one Swedish company, Stratco Hydraulics, if I'm not mistaken. What are the plans on that? And also, there was one another power plant to be set up in Tamil Nadu where 100 crore is invested. So, what happens to those this 3-4 plants?
Right now, we have looked at the valuation of operating companies, but all the companies what you mentioned, which are subsidiaries, will also be coming to us. We have to go into a lot of details and see how those assets could be made productive. That will bring us additional delta on top of what we are taking over and immediately going to operate. As per our understanding, structure is running, but the dimension is very small. And the Chandrapur power plant is a thermal power plant, and it has become non-operational because of the policy from the government side is that power has to be used with 15 minutes banking, and it has become challenging. Challenge will continue unless and otherwise we get a base load of close to 36 megawatts. So it is for detailed examination, and whether we can get 36 megawatts of base load, we will have to bring the answer to that. But right now there are different avenues of power cost reduction. It could be, as I mentioned, green power, solar power, that could be also an option. But starting of this power plant could be an option. So we'll have to see when we work on the turnaround and on the implement side. That time we will have to go into details and see which one becomes feasible to improve the valuation.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
And so, sir, would there be impairment to be done of this 3-4 subsidiaries and investments?
See, first is examination and how to convert the liabilities or the unutilized assets into utilizing the assets. Once we finish that examination and it is impossible to utilize, then the other options have to be looked into. But at this stage, right now, we will consider everything as an asset, and including the Tamil Nadu land or whatever 100 crore was put. We will go into details, we'll examine, we'll see what can be converted into useful asset, and if anything remains non-useful, but it is an asset, then we will have to see what is to be done with it. But right now, examining how to make them useful.
Sure, sir. And on this 3 plants of ISMT, they were underutilized since long time. Sir, how is the plant conditions, and do you think there would be immediate investments to be done to keep up the plant to the standard, maintenance, or as I say, they are fit to operate?
We did technical due diligence with our own team and also with the team of external consultants. Both the teams unanimously plants are reasonably well maintained, and it doesn't call for any major investment immediately other than continuous improvement related investments which have their own attractive products.
Sure, sir. Yeah. I'll come back in the queue. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Gumaste, may we request you to speak a little closer to the device, sir, because your audio is sounding a bit muffled. Thank you.
Sure.
We move to the next question from the line of Sunil Kothari from Unique Asset Management. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, Kothari ji.
Yeah, sir. Good afternoon. Thanks for the opportunity. Really commendable this action and this opportunity you are grabbing. Sir, normally your your approach towards any investment is always is very conservative. You always earn and then spend and make very high return, very in a very short period of time you get a payback. So would you like to comment on this, the venture we are doing, the investment we are making? What type of payback, which normally in your every action is always 2 to 3 years, what type of payback you feel this venture will have?
No, 2-3 points come to my mind is everybody has only a certain time period. It's not indefinite time now. Everyone don't have indefinite time. It's a finite time available. One. Second is when the opportunities come, the good quality assets coming is not very frequent. So a lot of assets come, but good quality assets coming is not very regular. And third point is very important aspect is our looking currently when we look at this asset, we consider this asset as very good quality. Hence, we should be able to improve the performance and also make it early payback investment.
Any time horizon in your mind, if possible?
Quarter to quarter, we will be speaking to you, and I need to look into details and work out the plans. Giving any specific time at this point in the beginning may not be appropriate.
No, very fair. Very fair, sir. And sir, second point is at optimum utilization of this all capacity, what type of revenue possibilities are there? And our objective is always to have at least double-digit margin. You feel it's a feasible and possible target in maybe a reasonable time frame for this unit?
Point number one is all of us know that we cannot achieve 100% nameplate capacity utilizations in companies in the manufacturing areas like iron and steel, including foundries. So we have some estimates that against 3.5 lakh ton, it is definitely possible to make 3 lakh ton of steel because they have been making many months 25,000 tons. So that's one thing on the steel. On the tube, our assessment is that together between Baramati and Ahmednagar, it's not 3.65 lakh ton, at least 2 lakh ton is definitely possible. And this kind of capacity utilization will take the company's turnover beyond 3,000 crores per annum. A simple calculation at current prices of metals and tubes and steel.
Mm-hmm. And sir, about EBITDA?
Hello?
Yeah, sir, about EBITDA possibilities.
EBITDA possibilities, we have always, many organizations at 10% EBITDA, 15 is the most ideal, 20% is very aspirational. See, these are numbers, what you have in mind, I have the same figures in mind. But currently, this unit, last quarter, good quarters, in my opinion, is at 6%. But they are there with 15% power and fuel. KSL is 2.5% power and fuel. I see opportunities in these areas, but how much time it will take to reduce the power and fuel. So we'll have to see one possibility. I talked about green power. Another possibility is can we operate the Chandrapur power plant? Because it is not going to be 3 units in Maharashtra, including our Solapur, it will be 4 units in Maharashtra, because it's also our subsidiary holding more than 51%. So we can generate in Chandrapur and use in all these 4 plants. We can maybe expand it to another 2 plants. So we will examine, it's a very important examination we will have to do. And if we can put together the base load, then plant can be operated. I am sure that it is still possible to, once the coal prices stable and settle down, 4 to 5 rupees power cost is a possibility, and currently the power cost is 8 to 9 rupees per unit. This is one aspect. And second aspect, I'm very clear that how we can reduce the power consumption in the steel plant, and that could be our slightly mid-term plan, that can we make the steel in copper using hot metal, and thereby reduce the power consumption from 800 units per ton in Jejuri to 400 units per ton in copper with energy optimizing furnace. And that too power generated from the coke ovens, waste heat recovery power. So it can completely transform the power and fuel cost and thereby improve the EBITDA.
Great, sir. So your ability about reducing costs, reducing power consumption, you already proved that. So looking at this is an outside unit. The team will be very demotivated because of it's a loss-making unit. So which are the challenges in terms of capability of that team, manufacturing ability, and how much our own people from KFL will be handling this? So overall, this manpower, critical key manpower resources, how you would like to say comment on this situation, which now, because it will be now another having a unit which will be probably generating 3,500 crore revenue. So your time, your ability, your team, comments on those things?
No, basically, I would like to just remind that we are not only acquiring the fixed assets, we are acquiring business completely, including the human capital. I value always the human capital very high, and we are very clear that Indian Seamless Metal Tubes, the management and the management bandwidth, they have been great people. They have been very passionate people in making tubes, making steel, good quality steel. They are well known for that. And we will definitely do everything possible to ensure that there is a continuity of management teams. They will work for ISMT, and we are entering ISMT. And if at all anything we are going to add, we will definitely take our last 20 years experience from KFL to them. And I'm sure that whatever is the best possible horizontal deployment of best practices would be definitely done, and but we won't be looking at big change of management, because there are people with huge experience in the tube side, steel making side, and we will continue to work with them. I am sure that we will create a positive synergy together, and we will share our time. We will work with them. And I'm sure that you have noted we got the CI Exim Business Excellence Award on Friday evening from CI Exim Institute of Quality, and it's a prestigious award, and it comes with proven stable excellence in manufacturing and business processes. And I'm sure that we will be very keen on setting up such processes in all the 3 manufacturing units in ISMT as well.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, a reminder to the participants, please limit your questions to 2 per participant. Should you have any follow-up, may be requested to rejoin the queue. The next question is from the line of Rushabh Shah from Anubhati Advisors. Please go ahead.
Congratulations, sir, for a very well executed acquisition. So first question from my side will be on the debt levels, what we'll be seeing in the next couple of quarters. So although we are very low leverage at this point of time with 210 crores of debt, but with 670 crores for the 51% acquisition and the unsecured loan, we'll be also needing some funds for the open offer and for the working capital for increasing the capacity utilization at ISMT. So at the console level, what sort of debt are we looking at over next maybe the next 6 to 9 months? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. I think we are not looking for immediate debt not exceeding 700 crores. And this is point number one. And point number two, how much funds are required for the open offer depends on what we get in the open offer. So we have prepared for funding, but I'm not very sure how much really comes. We have to see. But for settling the loans, we need a 670 crores, and our borrowings immediate requirement is not more than 700 crores. And we have checked with the organization. It has very good net current assets and gross current assets. They are very well run as of now. There could be some pressures, but we don't envisage huge capital input into working capitals. And we also don't expect any need of big capital investments immediately. So the borrowing would be in fact limited to 700 crores plus the open offers, whatever comes.
So if I understand it correct, the capex plan which we are planning on the standalone level also, they will also be met through internal accruals only. For that also won't be taking incremental borrowings.
Actually, we have taken the board approval to borrow and increase our borrowings from 200 crores to 300 or 325 crores. But actually, last 2 quarters, we have maintained around 200 crores of capital term loan, and it has even come below that. I think the current level, we have paid off the loans, and currently we are at 130 instead of 325 crores. So that's why I said that going forward, yes, commodity cycles are changing and the profitabilities could be different. But we have the sanctioned limits available to borrow additionally for the project if it is required as we move forward. But right now, what we are looking at is borrowing not more than 700 crores immediately, plus whatever comes in the public offer.
Perfect. So, sir, my second question will be on the utilization levels. So, I even missed the part when you were mentioning how much utilization we'll be able to achieve from the steel and tube plant. But any timeline you can give how soon can we ramp up from the 30 and 44% utilization levels? Or what are more sort of practical, achievable capacity utilization at ISMT plants?
I did mention that the nameplate capacity of steel plant is 3.5 lakh metric ton per annum. I think that achievable is as per our technical team and our consultant team. Immediate achievable is 3 lakh metric ton per annum. And on the tube side, together it is 3,65,000 is the nameplate capacity, and we are looking that we can very immediate context. It could be within say 3, 4, 5 quarters. We can take it to 2 lakh metric ton per annum tube, and together, if you look at some consumption out of 3 lakh into tube making from outside sales, all this put together, it can take the top line from the current level of 2,000 to 3,000 crores per annum. But as we get into that inside these operations, we will be required to understand more details. There are aspects of supply chain management, there are aspects of customer demand up and downs. But figuring out our attempt would be to increase and bring the growth back to the organization, restore the positive network, restore the banking system, restore the letter of intent, PC and all this, so that there is no starvation on the supply chain. But at the same time, it's very important that we always maintain sales to gross current assets levels, which we define for every industry. I'm sure that we will handle it consciously, but ensure that there is a smooth flow of raw material for manufacturing, and we keep progressing on the capacity utilization. So these are the first step levels what we will be in. And they are a good level to achieve as the first target.
Thank you. Before we move to the next question, a reminder to the participants, please limit your questions to 2 per participant. The next question is from the line of Bharat Sheth from Quest Investment. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Congratulations on excellent acquisition. Hello.
Thank you, Bharat. Thank you very much.
Sir, just to understand, I mean, you have explained, and it's a little longer time. I mean, one need to take to how we can fast improve upon the performance. But one, what are the broadly, if one has to look at operating leverage we have apart from this power saving cost that we can really do, what are other operating leverages there? Second thing, sir, was
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
One, I did mention that in many quarters in the past, power and fuel is 19%.
Correct.
And our company, KFIL, power and fuel is 2.5%. And ISMT competitor is at 3%. So this is very important leverage. Second is employee-related expenses.
Correct.
The ISMT is most of the time at 10%. Competitor is at 3%. KFIL is at 4%. So there is a chance to go to, if not 3 and 4, at least 5% or 6%. So it takes time, but they can be restructured. And these are very important. The company is spending currently 29% between power and fuel and ERE, and the competitor is at 6%.
Okay.
The KFIL is at 6%. So there is a huge opportunity, and that's why I did mention that the current management is doing their best in terms of technical performance, in terms of producing good quality steel, good quality tubes, and reasonable good capacity utilization in spite of not having banking facility. So we will have, in my view, opportunity to work on these 2 areas. But as we get into the operations, we won't limit to 2 areas. We will have to examine all areas, and there could be small, big opportunities coming, which we will definitely look into and act upon.
Okay. Sir, my second question is, once this turnaround or whenever it happens, what are the chances of merging, I mean, this entity with KFL, so in order to take the advantage of unabsorbed tax loss which company is having? That is one. Second, once we make the full repayment of the debt, so I understand, say interest outgo will be 0. So will the company will be able to generate sufficient cash to pay, fund its own, future expansion or working capital requirement, or it will be used to repay KFL debt also?
First of all, it's a limited company, and we are taking over, and we would like to bring as quickly as possible to good shape. And in my understanding, merger is a logical step and conclude his position for this acquisition. I'm very clear that both are in the field of metal and we can merge and have as one entity without any doubt. And second thing is, we always get on our platter something which is challenging, and we like to convert that also into a sustainable business model. And once we call it a sustainable business and sustainable business model, it should generate enough cash for its capex, its growth, its all expenses, including the interest and repayment. So we are also right from beginning, if you have noticed, what I told is we are putting in 477 crores through equity plus 200 crores through unsecured loan, which has to be paid by ISMT to debt to us. So we will get the entity to get used to service. I think I have been told that they are already servicing, but not enough to take care of unstructured loan portion. But they are already always EBITDA positive, and they have been making some payment to them.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sunil Jain from Nirmal Bang. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for taking my question, and congratulations on this acquisition. So my question relates about the debt, which debt and interest and long-term debt what ISMT has. So in all, they has as of 31st March somewhere around 3,500 crore, including interest which is outstanding for long. So all these is getting settled at around 670 crore.
Yes, you are right. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for that. And so second operational question about ISMT is that the sector you said bearing and oil and gas. So is it possible how much revenue they get from bearing sector and how much is from oil and gas? Some approximate.
Bearing is a big part. Bearing is supply of steel for bearing and supply of tubes for bearing. I think bearing itself is about 25% of their total revenue.
Okay, and the balance may be 75% from oil.
There are different fields. One is bearings, other is automotive, third is boiler tubes and power. General engineering is another. So there are hydraulic tubing is another field. Yes, there are many segments.
And will we have to again go to this PSU companies for approval once our net worth get positive?
No, the company continues. There's no question of going for approval. All the approvals are already in place.
Okay, means there is no need because since long time they might not have got order from them.
No, I think they have all the approvals of customers. That's the biggest strength, and there won't be need of new. And any new customer addition, it is a natural process.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you very much. Great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Aditya Nahar from Alpana Enterprises. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Mr. Gumasti, Mr. Srivastavan. I have no questions, sir. Just wanted to say congratulations on the acquisition. I think it's one of our first acquisitions at Ferrous, and wish you all the very best, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Aditya.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sahil Sangvi from Monarch Network Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening, Gumasti sir and Srivastavan sir. First of all, congratulations, sir, for the acquisition and also for the Business Excellence Award. Most of my questions are answered, sir. Just wanted to understand the timeline. What could be the timelines of the completion of the merger?
What is the timeline for?
The completion of the merger, sir. What could be the timelines?
It could be very short. I think 1 or 2 months or maybe 2, 3 months. You want to speak? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sure, Sunil.
The milestones, as we have noted, is the EGM of both the companies, where shareholders have to give their blessings.
Okay.
Then the statutory approvals coming from Competition Commission of India and the SEBI regulations.
Okay.
That is in the open offer. When I am telling SEBI, it is on the open offer. So that is done. I think what Mr. Gumastha said, in that it should be completed.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine. Thank you, sir. All the best, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Bhavesh Jain from Enam Holdings. Please go ahead.
Yeah, this is Bhavin Chera from Enam Holding. Congrats to Mr. Gumastha and entire team for doing this acquisition. So just a few questions. First on the, can I get the gross debt number as on the acquisition date and what it would be after the transaction? Because I saw the gross debt number.
Can you repeat the number? It was.
What is the borrowings number as on the date of the acquisition, and what's the settlement happening with the lenders post this transaction? Because if I see the press release, this entire amount is going for payment to the lenders, plus there is an incremental unsecured loan of around 194 crores from Kirloskar Ferrous to ISMT. So probably that would also go for payment of borrowing. So what's the status of borrowings now and post this transaction?
No, whatever may be the status, total borrowings are on the ISMT books. The total debt will be settled at 670 crores, and we are infusing 700 crores, not exceeding 700 crores. It could be 670 crores to settle the loans, and we are expecting that the working capital, any support required would be separate, but we don't expect in big number.
So the entire debt, which on 31st March looks to be around 2100 crores, is settled at 700 odd crores?
670 crores.
670 crores also. So the ISMT business will be completely debt-free post this transaction.
They will have that unsecured 200 crores. No?
Sorry?
They have to pay us. We are giving them 194 crores of unsecured loan.
195 crores, I'm saying. Okay.
Okay. That has to be serviced and paid back to us.
Sure.
Unless and otherwise it is not merged within that time.
Other question was on the tubes segment. You said that the nameplate capacity was 360,000. It will take for you to 3-4 quarters to achieve 2 lakhs. So couple of questions here is, one is why it would take time. I think is that you will have to go to the clients for the approval process, because what I believe is that they did tubes for the boiler segment, which may probably be down, and their presence in oil and gas segment is much less. So what would be your strategy for particularly this tubes segment? And because you are guiding that you will reach around 2 lakhs in 4-5 quarters.
No, I am not guiding that I will reach 2 lakhs in certain time period. What I just mentioned is 3.5 lakh is the steel cap nameplate capacity, and our technical due diligence says it is possible to reach 3 lakh ton production and sales on steel, and on the tube 2 lakh ton against 3,65,000 nameplate capacity. And see, once we are in, we will have to examine the current capacity utilization levels, what are the bottlenecks, what are the why it is not getting fully loaded. So there are, but the management discussion is that it is possible to reach these levels. One is for certain tender businesses, positive network is the requirement, which will happen with this one-time settlement. The other is any improvement in the working capital required, banking facility, which we are going to see that it is put in place. With that, we definitely look forward for increased capacity utilization. And generally, we don't give the guidance how much will happen.
Yeah, sir. Thanks a lot and best of luck, sir. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your support.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ganesh, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Congratulations, Gumaste, sir. Hello.
Thank you.
Sir, is ISMT your previous employer?
Yeah, I worked as chief executive, worked Baramati for about 9 months.
For about 9 months. Okay. Just I wanted to know about that.
Yeah. I've been with Kirloskar all the time except those 9 months.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ganesh.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sunil Kotari from Unique Asset Management. Please go ahead.
Thanks again for opportunity. Sir, just one clarification if Mr. Srivastava can provide us is this tax benefits because of the carry forward loss of ISMT, will it accrue to us with the acquisition of this 51 or maybe 75%, or it will be available only after we merge ISMT with Kirloskar Ferrous? And what type of tax benefits will be there or unabsorbed losses?
Sir, request you to please stay connected while we reconnect the MD, sir.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the line for the management is reconnected. Over to you, sir.
Yes. Should I repeat my question?
No, not required. See, Sunil, what I've been given to understand is that one is there is a carry forward loss. The income tax calculation possibility is as per the old and as per new. So the net unabsorbed is possible with old regime and not with the new regime. The ideal situation is going with the new regime. New regime, there will be also write back with settlement of the loans. There are a lot of case laws for and against and all that. But what ultimately it is coming that it's more of a tax neutral. We may not be required to pay huge tax, or we are not going to get huge tax benefit. That is the in conclusion and executive summary.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much, and wish you good luck, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we take one last question from the line of Anirudh Jain from Revolution Portfolio Managers. Please go ahead.
Hello. Congratulations, sir, for the great acquisition. I have one question, sir. So post this restructuring, what will be the working capital loan in ISMT?
Currently, the all loan is in one basket, and when we are settling this one-time OTS, everything is getting settled. And as I mentioned, there is some good amount of net working capital which keeps the company going. And once the OTS happens and we are there, we will definitely re-establish the bank working system and working capital from there done from there to facilitate the operations smoothly going forward.
Okay. So except for the working capital, there will be no additional debt in the book of ISMT. That's correct?
194 crores we are giving, that has to be significant paid back.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. I now hand the conference over to the management for their closing comments.
Yeah, thank you very much. I understand a lot of interest from analysts and investors. Thank you very much for your keen interest in Kirloskar Ferrous Industries Limited and the developments here. And we thank you for all your support and understanding, and look forward to have great interaction again after the one quarters. Any comments from your side, Srivatsa?
Yeah, good evening, and thanks for a very active participation into this. And as Mr. Gumar said, we look forward for the completion of all the processes, and post that certainly we get back to you with the update. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Antique Stock Broking, that concludes this conference. Thank you all for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.